that one incident that taught you the importance of saying no? When the doctor told us the clinical trial was our last shot to save Mom, I just sat there in my car staring at my banking app. I only had $1,800. Mom needed $3,000 a month after insurance. She squeezed my hand in the passenger seat and said we'd figure it out like we always did. Same thing she said when Dad left us 10 years ago. Back at the office, the promotion announcement was posted in the lobby. Senior director position with a $25,000 raise, enough to save Mom. I've been passed over twice before, but this time was different. That's when my coworker Alina messaged me. Ethan, her son, had another bad reaction, and she was at the hospital all night. The Morrison report was due, and he was threatening to pull the entire account and asked if I could handle it just this once. I understood what it was like when family needed you, so I stayed until 10 fixing her mess. Next morning, our manager Sandra praised Alina for the incredible turnaround. Alina smiled at me and mouthed thank you while Sandra went on about Grace under pressure. Tim leaned over and whispered that I needed to stop helping her. This was the third time this month. Then, my daughter texted asking where I was, and that grandma fell again. I couldn't answer because Sandra was watching. After the meeting, Alina found me at the coffee machine looking exhausted. Her voice cracked when she thanked me, said Ethan's treatments drained their savings, and she was borrowing from her sister for rent. We stood there, just two single moms barely keeping our heads above water, or so I thought. Then I started noticing patterns. Alina's emergencies were always Thursday nights. She'd text about Ethan's bad day, then show up Friday morning surprisingly put together. One Thursday, I was scrolling through social media, and there it was. Alina tagged at the casino buffet, posted 1 hour after she texted me about Ethan's fever. But I didn't confront her. I just started documenting everything. She had this system where she'd ask me to review her work, then submit my corrections as her own. She'd forward my late night emails to herself at 6 a.m. to look dedicated. In meetings, she'd present my strategies like we brainstormed together. Moms oncologists called during lunch. The trial was almost full. 2 weeks to decide or lose our spot. That same day, my daughter Casey got detention for snapping at her teacher. I missed the parent conference because Alina had another emergency. Casey was on the porch when I got home. She looked at me with her dad's eyes and said, "You care more about helping Alina than saving Grandma." The promotion presentations came fast. Alina went first with my workflow system that saved the company $40,000, but she was smart about it. Positioned me as her supporting team member, while she was the leader who delegated during personal tragedy. The board member actually teared up when she talked about balancing innovation with her son's chemo. Sandra announced Alina's promotion the next Monday, pulled me aside and said I was close, but Alina showed executive presence by maintaining productivity during crisis. The clinical trial closed that week. Mom tried to act fine, but I saw her shoulders drop. Tim found me crying in the supply closet. He looked guilty and told me his wife worked at Children's Hospital billing. He told me that according to Ethan's insurance records, he's never been admitted for cancer, only monthly checkups. I decided to look in further and noticed that every single Thursday night was blocked for casino GA meeting. She'd been using her son's fake sickness to cover for her Gamblers Anonymous meetings. I scheduled a meeting with Sandra and HR. They looked at my documentation, and HR shifted uncomfortably. Sandra asked if I was really trying to take down a single mother. Then HR told me a working mom overcoming cancer looked better than gambling addict, and they understood why she did what she did. Soon after, I took out a loan at 28% interest to start Mom's treatment. Starting late meant maybe a year more instead of a cure, but I couldn't do anything. Alina cornered me in the parking garage the next week. She knew I'd figured it out. She said nobody sympathized with addiction, but a sick kid they understood. She pulled out an envelope full of cash, half her raise if I kept quiet. I walked away. My daughter moved in with her best friend after we had another fight. She said I chose being nice over family, just like Dad chose his girlfriend over us. 6 months later, Alina made an error too big to blame on anyone else and got demoted immediately. They gave me her position, but it felt meaningless. Mom was in the hospital every other week, and Casey still wouldn't return my calls. Then I got a voicemail from Alina. She sounded drunk and was screaming at me about how I ruined her life, how her husband was divorcing her and suing for full custody because she started drinking again after getting demoted. She warned me I should be ready because very soon she was coming for either my job or my neck. Full story on channel, linked below.